A couple of Daytona 500 Open cars revealed their paint schemes for this year, and by the way, one just happens to be a pretty badass throwback. A NASCAR partnership that I'm legitimately excited for. What might be the greatest NASCAR trophy I've ever seen, plus your fan mail, all coming up today on Shifting Gears.
High, push it, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Me?
Can I not push it in?
Stop anybody.
Come on, he's going! Way to go, boys!
One hell of a job, man. One hell of a job. Thank you so much.
I am Alan Bailey in a very wet, very cold Southern California here in the Los Angeles area. Welcome on in. Yes, I'm heading out to the LA Coliseum tomorrow. Bob Pockris went ahead and posted this from the Coliseum. And yes, it's wet, but hopefully the rain's going to get out of the way today and tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it'll be hopefully nice and dry with the potential of rain on Sunday. We're going to talk about it. But before we do that, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video throughout the 2024 season. And of course, you can also log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Honestly, I'm a little bit worried about the weather. A couple days ago, it was like 70% chance of rain. Yesterday, it was like 15% chance of rain. And then today, 45% chance of rain on Sunday. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It's changing day by day. We're going to have to honestly wait and see. I'm out here. Los Angeles does not have good drainage. So the freeways are flooded. It is miserable. And everybody's IQ points drops by about 20 anytime a little bit of rain comes down in Los Angeles. So we're having a lot of fun out here. But you know what? That's okay, because the Coliseum actually does have extremely good drainage. Thankfully, the NASCAR engineers thought ahead. A couple of years ago, when they actually designed this track, what they did is they actually raised the ground up. I'm not joking. They put, I think it's about 6 feet of dirt down over the football field and raised the whole ground level up in order to make the visibility better for people in the stands. And when they did that, they went, you know, we should put some drainage in there, and they did, wisely. NASCAR engineers went ahead and put several drainage points throughout the entire track, meaning, in the infield, meaning that all of that weather and all of that rain and water is dissipating out of the track. So honestly, the track is going to be drying pretty darn quick. So as somebody who's from Los Angeles, born and raised here, I was really excited when the Coliseum was announced because honestly, I thought it was a huge opportunity. I know a lot of diehards hated it because it's not in Daytona, but nobody watched it for the last few years when the Clash was in Daytona. Nobody went because the 500 was about a week later. Would you rather go to the Daytona 500 or to the Clash that means almost absolutely nothing? Not really a hard decision. So when NASCAR announced that they were going to have the NASCAR Mexico Series racing an exhibition race in Los Angeles with the Clash this year, I was super excited. Probably one of the coolest things NASCAR's ever done is the fact that they reached out to Ozzy Juarez to create an amazing trophy. I mean, just look at this trophy. It is breathtakingly beautiful. It is a sculpture technically, but it is also a trophy. I cannot wait to see this weekend. I legitimately want this trophy really badly. Anybody got a car to race that race real quick? I'll jump in it. I don't care. Because this is so damn cool.
Being inspired by like relief sculptures that were made in ancient civilizations with the Mexicas and kind of going back to the roots.
I'm not joking or exaggerating when I say that this might be the greatest trophy I've ever seen in motorsports outside of the Harley J. Earl Trophy for the Daytona 500. I absolutely love this thing. I really do. It's indicative of my culture here in Los Angeles. My mother's side of the family is from Mexico. My wife is from Mexico. She immigrated here to the United States when she was a kid. And honestly, this is very personal to me. And I am so damn proud that NASCAR not only did this, but that this is happening here in my city. I absolutely love it. And I know a lot of people hate the fact that the Clash is here in Los Angeles, but you got to understand that this was to expand the fan base and get to new NASCAR fans and literally put NASCAR in the backyard of people who don't necessarily get to go out to a NASCAR race. Los Angeles to Fontana is about a 45-mile trek. I'm not exaggerating, and that is a long distance in Los Angeles when you're dealing with 2 hours of traffic to make that commute. So brilliant move on NASCAR's part. I love it. I hope this isn't the final year for the Clash in Los Angeles. We also got to look at a couple of cars for the Daytona 500 that must race into the Daytona 500 as open cars. Firstly, Jimmie Johnson revealing this amazing, mind-blowing Carvana Petty throwback. I absolutely love this car. I truly think that it honestly is extremely respectful of the history of NASCAR while looking forward into the future. It's inspired by the Chrysler Plymouth that Petty raced in the '64 Daytona 500 that led to his first NASCAR Cup Series championship. So I love the fact that they're doing this with the Petty 75th anniversary logo on the car. Yes, I know a lot of fans are going to have issues with it being a Toyota, but to me, I don't care. They put the horsepower on the hood. It just screams old school NASCAR. Even the font on 84 is vintage Petty, vintage NASCAR, and I absolutely love this thing. It might be my favorite Jimmie Johnson paint scheme, and I'm not exaggerating. Seriously, yes, there are a handful of Jimmie Johnson paint schemes that qualify for me, but this thing is just simply amazing. And whenever you take a Petty blue car out to Daytona, no matter what vehicle it is, it's always nostalgic for me, and I absolutely love it. And as much as I love Jimmie Johnson's car, this one from Fast Pasta might be my favorite one in Daytona so far this year. Anthony Alfredo is going to be in the number 62 Beard Motorsports Chevy in the Daytona 500 attempting to make the field, and I'm sorry, I have a thing for black and red, and Death Wish Coffee being on this car is just mind-blowingly cool. I love this car so much. It might be my new favorite car in the 500 this year, seriously. I love the simplicity of it. It's a very, very, very small team. I love the simplicity of it. This is a very small team that has, I think, 2 full-time employees at the moment, maybe just 1. And when they show up to the track on race day, because of the pit crew, their employee count goes up to like 12. I mean, just it's the little engine that could, and it's just so badass and awesome. And I love the fact that they're racing the 500 this year. Seriously, I really hope that they make the field this year, but it's going to be a tight field. At least one car is going to be heading home in the 500 this year, so I don't know, fingers crossed. I really want to see this car race the 500 along with Jimmie Johnson in that 84. Never thought we would see this collab, but damn, I actually really dig it. Crocs and NASCAR teaming up to bring us these, some people are calling them monstrosities, but I think they're actually kind of cool. It's the COT Crocs, man. I mean, complete with the wing and every little thing on it. I've seen these things at, the mall and things at Universal Studios, at City Walk when I'm walking around out there, and I always thought, it's a bit extra, it's a bit much. Now that it's here, I kind of really want it, and frankly, Mr. Jordan Bianchi, I'm just saying, Jeff Gluck could use a pair of these for the 500 this year. I'm just saying, Jordan, bring it. They actually go on sale online tomorrow, February 2nd, and they actually hit stores on Monday, February 5th. So go out and get your pair now, because these things are going to sell out. I think they are anyway, because I'm going to buy every pair, and I'm going to rock them proudly. I've never had a pair of Crocs. Now I have a reason to get a pair of Crocs, and I'm excited. Never thought I would say this. Starcom Racing is back. You remember the little race team that ran the 00 in the NASCAR Cup Series for a few seasons, a few years back. They closed their doors, sold their charter, made their money, and went away, and we thought, that's it, Starcom's gone. They are back, but not in NASCAR. In IMSA this time, running this awesome-looking car. Starcom is going IMSA racing in the TCR series with Nitro Motorsports running this Hyundai. It's honestly bringing me all the nostalgia vibes, and yes, people are already asking, is Quinn going to be racing this thing? He raced for them in the Cup Series, and no, they haven't announced a driver yet, but I'm excited to see the little race team that could making a resurrection in any form of motorsports. Is pretty damn cool. Tony Breitinger is going to be racing in the Truck Series at Daytona in the number 1 for Tricon Garage, and somebody might want to tell the admin over on Twitter for Tricon that she actually raced for them before last season in a couple starts. I don't know why. They sent out this tweet that just makes it seem like she's never been with the team, and this is going to be, I want to say, her 4th race with the team, so kind of a little fail right there on Twitter for Tricon right there, but I'm excited. I think she should be racing the Truck Series full-time this season. She's going to be racing the full ARCA season in 2024 with some selected starts for Tricon. She does have a developmental contract with Toyota, so she will be in a Toyota for the foreseeable future. I would like to see her in the Truck Series, and honestly, frankly, I prefer to see her in the Xfinity Series sooner rather than later, because I do think that she does bring a substantial social media presence similar to a Hailie Deegan, but again, the Truck Series is just such a hot mess right now. I don't want to see any driver in that series. It's kind of where a driver goes where they have nowhere else to go, or where they go once their career dies. Ty Dillon. But best of luck to her. I honestly do think that she is a great driving talent that just needs some seat time and needs to develop those skills, but get out of the Truck Series as soon as possible, sincerely. All right, time to open up the mailbag. What's the worst that could happen? I don't know. Let's see. This one. My concern is, will Speedway Club seat holders get to retain their seats? This is referring to the Auto Club Speedway or California Speedway, because remember, the Auto Club Speedway, or the Auto Club naming rights, I should say, that contract expired, so now it has gone back to California Speedway. To be determined. I would assume that ticket holders, season ticket holders, will get first preference when the new grandstands come up and when the track reopens in a year or two. They are still deconstructing that land, and that NASCAR is still working on that project. I'm going to talk to NASCAR about it this weekend and try to get some more information out of them, but honestly, they are still kind of developing the final construction plans over there. They are in the middle of demoing everything on the track, because the front stretch, pit road, etc. is all going to have to come down in order to put up the new racetrack. So honestly, the last we heard, NASCAR was taking their time with this, and I'm in no rush. If I don't get to see a race in Fontana for 3 years because NASCAR wants to make sure they get it right, so be it. I'll wait 5 years if I have to. I won't like it, but I would rather see a great racetrack in 5 years than a crappy thrown together, we had to do it quick racetrack in a year or two. So NASCAR, take your time. I'm in no rush. I really hope that they get this one right, and I really think they're going to. Hired Gun 5. Electric cars are a complete no for me, and I'm reasonably sure that I'm not alone here. Just look at the comments before mine. I have no room for any kind of electric equipment in my personal or work life, and that includes the little bit of time I get for watching motorsports on TV. Why do these California people think that this is going to happen with electric boats and snowmobiles? Somebody will start making a business out of recruiting sucker boaters and snow bunnies who don't have the juice to complete their ride. Who knows, I might join them. What? You don't have, quote-unquote, any room in your life for anything electric? What do you think your house runs on? What do you think your car, even though it's gas-powered, has an electrical system? I'm sorry. Most of the country, most of the planet is going electric. And no, I'm not saying that combustion engines are going away completely. I really hope that's not the case. But as somebody who lives in California, born and raised, this is the way of the future. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, avocado toast. Oh yeah, peace, love. No, I'm not all about that life, man. I'm about whatever people want in order to make their lives convenient. And the simple fact of the matter is that more people are buying hybrid cars across the country. More people are buying electric cars across the country. And this is what people want. More people are interested in hybrid technology and electric cars than ever before. And I'm sorry that you have no room for the thing that you've been using in your home for the better part of 100 years, and that you're honestly not considering the fact that your house runs on electricity. So clearly you have some room in your life for electricity, so that's incorrect. And honestly, I hope that we never get to 100% electric in motorsports. I really hope that's not the case. I like the hybrid systems that we see in motorsports now. I think it's a good combination of electric starters and combustion engines for roaring down the straightaways at Daytona, but I don't think we're ever going to go full electric. Yes, NASCAR has the debut of the electric vehicle, the electric SUV type vehicle that they plan to run somewhere down the road, hopefully in a brand new series. I don't know. Who knows what NASCAR's planning on this one? We'll have to wait and see. But honestly, you're dead wrong when you say, oh, most people don't like this. Most people are down with electric. Most people like hybrids. Just because there's 2 or 3 people agreeing with you in the comments of this video doesn't mean that you're in the majority. It means you're in the minority, and I'm sorry you feel that way. NASCAR is now completely garbage. Steve Phelps and others should be fired and banned permanently and never be allowed to come back. Why? Give me one good reason, because they've made changes that you don't agree with, because you're holding on to things that have been our reality in NASCAR for the better part of 5, 10 years, 15 years tops, and you think that makes it a tradition? No, it makes it a teenager. It's not tradition. And I love what Steve Phelps has done. He has taken NASCAR from literally boring schedules, boring racing, and actually brought in better schedules, better racing, and brought it into the forefront. We've seen NASCAR ticket sales increase. We've seen ratings increase. We've seen fans spending more money at the racetrack on souvenirs more since Steve Phelps has taken over. So by every measure of success, Steve Phelps has done a good job. Just because he's made changes that you don't necessarily agree with doesn't mean that he and others necessarily need to be banned from NASCAR. That's completely ridiculous. NASCAR as a whole is happy with the direction that they are going. NASCAR's TV partners and their sponsors are happy with the direction that NASCAR is going. Fans, reporters, the media overall are happy with the direction NASCAR is going. There's a difference between success and failure. And just because you think that NASCAR needs to hold on to arbitrary traditions that haven't really been traditions, the Southern 500 is a tradition. That being on Labor Day is a tradition that dates back to the 60s. That's a tradition. Same with the Daytona 500 that's been around since 59. In February at Daytona, being 500 miles, that's a tradition. But doing things like the Chicago Street Course is new. It's exciting. It saw the highest ratings outside of a Daytona 500 that we've seen in the better part of 15 years. Why don't we want more of that? I want more of that. It was a damn entertaining race. It was a race that got put in the middle of the city. Yes, it cost NASCAR a lot of money, but guess what? They saw that return in ratings and ratings across the board within the following weeks. Just because NASCAR ratings are down 1 week doesn't mean NASCAR's a failure. It means it was a bad week because other things are happening. You have to look past the, I don't like it, so it must be a failure mentality, because that's not true. There is a difference between you not liking something and it being a failure. And I know that people think in their own little worlds, in their own little social circles. And just because you and your 5 friends think this is not good, doesn't mean it's not good. Look at the overall picture. And I know you don't like facts, and I know you can disagree with me. Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think of Steve Phelps and every change that NASCAR's done over the course of the last 5-10 years? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, make sure that you go ahead and mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video in 2024. And of course, you can always log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and hide from the rain here in Los Angeles and continue to try to stay warm, and hopefully the racetrack dries out in time for Sunday. So for Shifting Gears, I'm Alan Bailey. We will see you at the track. Bye, gearheads.